Hi, my name's Matthew Young. Thanks for visiting our online library of video tutorials. The tutorial we'll be talking about now is about creating basic searches in Cordel Connect. There are other training subjects on Cordel Connect. Check out the video index in the Cordel Connect Client Resource Center. So if you want to search for project information on the Connect database, then you should start from this page. This is the Search Projects page. You can see the link to it is in the project drop-down menu there. It's a series of filters that you can use. You can search by project location. You can search by classification. Here we're talking about the types of projects that we're looking for. Also, you can see there's a stage box. This is important for defining the stage of development that the project is currently at. Useful for looking for various types of organizations you may wish to be talking to. Also, towards the bottom of the page, there are additional filters that you can use, a variety of different types of dates. You can search for projects at certain dollar values, certain sizes, floor areas, those kind of things. Today, as an example of a search we're going to run, I'm going to be looking for shops and shopping centres and showrooms in inner Sydney. Currently at the planning stage, tenders and building and construction. In location, you can see we can search the whole state if we like, New South Wales, but I'm not interested in the whole state, I just want inner Sydney. So I'm going to go for council list. Choosing council list gives me the opportunity to select New South Wales from this drop down box, and by doing that then I can go to the region box underneath and I can pick a certain area of New South Wales that I'm interested in. So I'm going to select inner Sydney. By choosing inner Sydney, I can either choose specific councils by double clicking them from the list, or simply hit add all underneath. This will transfer the whole selected council list over to the correct box. So now that I've chosen inner Sydney, I can now move on to picking the types of projects information that I'm looking for. So scrolling down the page, we have two boxes I can use to do that. Either section. By using the section box, I'm doing a very generic search there. I'm not being very choosy regarding the types of projects that I'm getting. If I use the commercial section, so by selecting that, I'm going to get a variety of projects coming back that would be falling within retail, commercial premises, hospitality, and the next category down as well, which is tourism. Of course, I don't want all of those. I only want shops and showrooms. At this point, you don't use both boxes together, so I'm going to deselect commercial by holding down the control key on the keyboard and choosing it again. I've now deselected that. Using the category box, I have the flexibility of choosing specific information that I want to go for. Either I can pick the main category heading like so. This will give me everything that falls within the category retail. That would be shops, showrooms and car parks. Or using the control key, I can pick specific subcategories I wish to look for. So in this case, I'm going to go for shops and showrooms. Now that I've chosen the retail category, I can now move on to the stage of development. Once we've defined the category that we're interested in looking for, we can then talk about the stages of development that we'd like to look for. The stage box down here, very similar to the way the category box is broken up. You have main headings in capital letters and then subheadings in lowercase. Again, if you wish to have the entire stage of development, simply click the main heading in capitals like so. That'll give you everything that falls within all of the subcategories immediately below it. Early warning stage is very early in a project's development, almost like a developer's wish list stage if you like. Nothing has been put down on paper, no plans created yet. The developer may be searching for finances possibly at this point. As I say, extremely early. A high percentage of projects at early warning stage don't actually progress to the further stages of development from there. The next stage we can see, exploration, drilling, surveying, assessments. Unless you're involved in mining projects and things, ignore this stage totally. Early planning. Preliminary sketch stage then. At this point, you're getting architects and developers who are talking to each other about what the plans are going to look like, what the building is going to look like, how many floors there are, what the floor space is going to be. This is even before the plans have even been sent to council yet, so as I say, still very early stages. Then the next stage of development is planning. At this point, the plans have been sent to council. Still lots of conversation going on between designers, architects. You'll be getting a series of engineers named there as well, so people like hydraulic engineers, structural engineers, mechanical engineers, all of them negotiating with the architect over the plans that are being designed, basically trying to get their products specified in there. Then tenders and building. This is the point at which the plans have been approved by council now, and the general construction tender, you'll be finding construction companies, builders will be named here as the ones that are submitting tenders. The winning builder, of course, not been named at this point yet. Then, final stage of development is the construction stage. This is the point at which we've named the winning builder. So if you want to know who's actually got the job, this is the stage that you should be looking at. The example that we're using at the moment, of course, bearing in mind that I'm searching for shops and shopping centres and showrooms, I also mentioned earlier that I want to know projects that are early enough to be able to get my plan specified. So I'm going to scroll up here and I'm going to pick 3 stages of development actually. I'm going to start with the planning stage. Then, by holding the control key down on the keyboard, I can now scroll down and select the remaining stages that I'm interested in as well. Now that we've chosen the 3 stages of development as well, in a basic search you don't need to worry too much about many more filters. There is one more though that is extremely important to consider, and it's this one down here. It's the update date filter. Projects in our database are being continually updated by our research department, and every time they are updated, the project is of course given a fresh update date. The importance of the update date then means this will represent the last time there was some form of activity on that project. You can either type in a specific date, so for instance if I typed in 1st of June 2009, at this point then if I ran this search now, it'll only give me projects that have been updated since the 1st of June 2009. Alternatively, you can use the update range box. The advantage of this one is you don't need to worry too much about the different types of dates that you're going to type in there. They don't have to be exact. You could simply select a range, for instance 6 months. And the additional benefit of selecting a update range is the fact that that date will now be a rolling date. It says the 17th of December. It's being the 17th of June at this recording time. If I was to run this search tomorrow, which would then be the 18th of June, that update date then will show the 18th of December. So using an update range is going to be a continual scrolling range. The advantage as well, of course, is having a 6-month filter in there means I'm only going to be seeing information that is at the most 6 months old. I'm not going to be seeing any projects that have been not updated for 2 years. Once we've defined the final filter there, update date, you'll notice there's a series of other options that you can use down here if you choose. I'm going to leave it at that and simply hit the Save Search button, at which point it'll bring you to the page that will allow you to type in a save name for the filters you've just defined. In this instance, I'm going to call this search Sydney Inner Retail. Once you've typed in the save name, just leave it ticked as including all projects. Of course, hit the Save button. This will now return you back to the Search Projects page, and of course at this point you can now check out your Saved Queries drop-down box that you see top left-hand side of the page there. There's a couple of searches that we've set up previously, including Sydney Inner Retail. So you would simply click the save name then, and then hit the Submit Saved Query button, and this at this point will generate the results of the filters that you've just defined. So you can see 232 projects. We're looking at the first 50 shops and shopping centres and showrooms, 232 of them in Inner Sydney. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial on this subject. Thanks for listening. Hopefully it was useful for you. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact our Cordel Connect help desk on 1800 24 36 24.